What's good, YouTube? Men of Steel here, and today I present to you with the deck that I'm calling Lucario Aggro or Aggro Lucario. But ultimately, it's just fighting good stuff, and it's like the floor of what this deck could or potentially will be. As I ultimately just dropped any form of buildup and just focused entirely on dealing as much damage and as fast as possible. Yeah, there's certain cards that I didn't even consider, like Rocky Helmet or Cape, that are inherently good cards and let you beat certain matchups that you wouldn't do otherwise. But it does take away from the fact that we're just trying to be all gas, no brakes. Once you put like cards that are defensive, you're going away from like being aggressive. Granted, I do believe that deck exists, and I am working on it. There is the middle ground. Lucario is just a great supporter for fighting as a whole. As his fighting coach ability, as you can see, like right down below, is attacks used by your fighting types deal 20 more, and it's not like superior where it doesn't stack. If you have two Lucarios, you'll be dealing 40 more. So you have Primate dealing 90 for one energy. You have Marshadow Revenge for 140. Like you start hitting huge numbers, and then that's where it becomes like a pick and choose, or almost the versatility of fighting is where it really shines because we'll start adapting to whatever the meta is currently at. Like currently, I was hoping like, oh, because like the set is new, there wouldn't be Gyarados all over the place. People are still on water. People are still on Gyarados. You'll see Magikarp. So I couldn't drop him only. I know him only doesn't work with Fighting Coach, but what him only does is like its own thing that it's like its own entity almost, where you can't just cut it. But him only does open the door to a certain card that I don't have in this list that I wanted to point out as like a potential like change, which is Cyrus. Cyrus is a deck that a card that I felt in my testing that I was like, I kind of wish this was in the deck because when you're being as aggressive as this deck is, you'll see your opponent like switching around their active Pokemon consistently, just trying to get away from all the damage that you're dealing. And that's where Cyrus literally says, "Nope, I want that guy." Where Sabrina, if they fill up the bench too much, you can't really pick and choose what they got. It has to be like it becomes more situational. So almost like a 1-1 is potentially possible, or due to how many people are on Cape, you might want to even cut Geo because the numbers start getting really odd where Geo's 10 isn't enough nor to like push you over the edge nor apply pressure. Like it's really awkward. But again, I'm growing and we're growing as the meta like I guess finds itself. Like even to like last week, Mythical Island was still like developing. Like so clearly this is just like the floor of what could be built above Lucario in an aggressive manner. There is other builds that I'll probably release in a later time with like focusing more on a building up, taking it slow, whether it's Golem or Machamp or Rampardos. Like there's a lot of ways that Lucario helps this meta, but currently in this deck, it's almost like if it was like the Blaine support card on legs, because it's just making all your guys hit that much harder, and it's like you start hitting numbers that they can't keep up with at the speed that you're doing it, right? Another card that I wasn't completely sold on, but I want to try out was Pokemon Communication. And when I say I don't think I'm sold on it, I do believe the card is good. The fact that we do have a toolbox, I wanted to put it in the deck because like there will be situations where, like say, I have a Hitmonlee and they don't have a bench or it's not a good matchup for Hitmonlee, so I could like send it back and hope to get a different creature, Pokemon. But all that to say that this deck is really strong. The ceiling is like above anything we could imagine currently because the meta is ever evolving and fighting continues to be one of the decks that could adapt the most. Like a Charizard deck, regardless of what happens in the meta, is going to try to go burr, hit for 200 and win. Mewtwo is going to try to build up that Mewtwo with some Gardevoirs in the back. It's going to do that no matter what. Fighting, however, has that ability to just like whether it's focuses on Marshadow and like the aggressiveness of like Mankey and Primate, or whether it focuses on Hitmonlee and start attacking the back and you go Greninja and just use like a small little package of Marshadow and Hitmonlee, or you start building up your big guns like Golem and Machamp, and you start hitting everything for knocking out in just one hit. Like the versatility of fighting is what makes me like drawn to using it so much. And this is just one of the many variations you could use with Lucario. And hopefully you guys enjoy. I will have some gameplay that will show how I would play the deck or how I am playing the deck. And there's some good matchups, some bad matchups. Like always, anything that has like too much healing, like grass with like their Ericas and stuff, starts getting a little tricky. But we'll see replays where I still was able to manage those games, manage to win those games. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please consider liking and subscribing. Make sure to comment down below what suggestions like to changes in the deck or improvements or differences you would do or decks you want to see. With that said, again, I hope you guys enjoy the content and above all else, stay pro. All right, going second, which is ideal. You have type advantage. All right, this is like the. Oh, I want to say we're missing Mankey, but for the most part, this hand is amazing. Um, I'm gonna hold him only. We'll start Hitmonchan. Again, like I said in the deck profile, there's like a lot of options with this deck. And how you want to play it, what the ratios are like. That's where like the term toolbox even comes in, so. So we'll just be aggressive here. Set up one Riolu. I'll set up two Riolus. Might be a little greedy, but that way we protect it, and I kind of want to hold the Hitmonlee, so like he'll come up, trust. He's really thinking on this one. X speed is crazy. We have the knockout potential if we go Hitmonlee. I think I'm gonna send Primeape away. If it gets us the second Lucario, then we're in a really good spot. He just got us the card back. Alright. Because technically we can swap into Hitmonlee, knock out that Pikachu. And that's 30 damage that this Pikachu can't deal to us. Assuming that the 4 cards in his hand aren't just the alternative. Well, we're always evolving Lucario, so we're hitting for 70 here. That's the other alternative. Like we just apply pressure and build up Lucario, still holding him only. Yeah, so now even if he finds 2 bench Pokemon to knock out this Hitmonchan in one shot, Lucario comes from the backline and gets the knockout. Lucario's swinging for 80 due to the advantage and his own ability. Okay, so he's running his own Pokémon. I'm not fully sold on that card yet, but I am a bigger fan than most, if that means anything. Okay, so he's basically looking for that extra basic Pokemon. I don't know if I would necessarily feel like the need to put Pokémon in the Pikachu deck, but they clearly got him there. And he must have traded in like Raichus or something, I don't know. Alright, so Lucario gets his first knockout here for 2 points. And he one-shots everything that's in front of us. And since we held the Hitmonlee, we also have a way to just snipe the Pikachu there in the back. Alright, research. I don't see a way he gets out of this one, if I'm being honest. Yep, nothing there, survives. Technically, he could send that Pikachu out to, like, stall a little bit, but again, we do have the him only. He doesn't know that, but we know that. Due to him only, like, playing him only and, like, knowing that most decks are gonna have to play around like this, is why, I consider Cyrus this is the best part of having a toolbox, like how many different varieties of ways you could get to the end result of just winning the game. So yeah, clearly we're in advantage in this one. Hopefully we'll get some tougher games to show you what this deck could really do. GG's to our opponent though. Alright, going second against water. We do have the Mankey to apply pressure, so how much pressure, we'll find out. And we have an X speed and research so that I'm like, yeah, if there's a Magikarp, we could get lucky and knock it out off rip with a him only. Or even a Hitmonchan, like depending on where this Magikarp ends up being. One double Pokeball. Alright, so there's the Manaphy. Froakie. Okay. This Magikarp. Okay, so we're forced to look at grab a him only. I think if we grab him only, we get way too ahead. It is a 1-up though, but we'll try. We're gonna research first to thin out the deck. Another Mankey, then we'll Pokeball. I guess we have to try, right? Let's Pokecom and send away the Mankey. It tripped me up that there was already a Mankey on board, but we didn't get there. However, we still could be pretty aggressive here. Yeah, I went very aggressive in looking for that him only because it would have been like just game changing. Like we would have basically won on the spot. Now we have to work for it, which luckily this deck is decent at doing, especially if he doesn't see Gyarados. We're still okay. No, there's the Gyarados. We have to assume he'll use this turn to ramp. Yeah, no. That's a good draw. It's a good draw, but we still get punished by what's this called? If he goes into Greninja. So I almost want to send Riolu out for the knockout. And it might seem crazy, but that's what I'm gonna do. Again, the reason for this is that if he has Greninja, he's able to shoot the Primeape, and we have no backup like plan to that. He's gone through a lot of his cards. He's thinned as much as possible, basically. Pokecom, let's see what he's looking for now. I guess the Greninja. That'd be like what he wants to see. Well, he got a Magikarp. Alright, hits Riolu for 30, that's fine. We have two options, but I'm gonna go with the research play. Still no Hitmonlee, but we do get to build up Marshadow, which is huge. And now I think I'll risk the Greninja play, because we have Marshadow to back up. Yeah. The fact that he gave us the... Okay, never mind. I was like, we could maybe steal the game, regardless of how he plays it. Yikes, this Misty could actually end the game. Oh, interesting that he went to build 2 Gyarados. That's a little greedy. I feel like he should have just tried to put online one of them and just sweep from there. This is amazing. And the fact that we're gonna get rid of this Frogadier before we could, or Frogadier, whatever. He has 0 points. Yeah, no. I think we got this one in the bag. I could be wrong. But yeah, he'll swing with this Gyarados. And then we'll Sabrina out the one that's not gonna swing anytime soon. That's the plan I have currently. Because it would require his hand to be like exactly Leaf. And although he's seen a lot of cards, he is down to just 2 cards in hand. I guess we'll be in trouble if this hits the Marshadow energy. No, it hit the Gyarados in the back, so even less likely that it swings. Yeah, so we'll definitely Sabrina out the one in the back. Or do we force him to switch to the one in the back? Because if we hit this for 140, which is what we're swinging for right now, he goes down to 40 and then our Lucario knocks it out. And that's even better. I was like, yeah, no, we're not gonna play the Sabrina. Let's go. This is the power of the fighting deck. No Hitmonlee, granted, it is in the deck. But that's why I say, like, it's not necessarily, like, it's a toolbox for a reason. Like, if you felt like, oh, Hitmonlee's not as good this format, you could cut it. If you feel like it's gonna be really good, you could put it up to 2. And you start playing with the numbers. Like, now he's, like, almost forced to back out this Gyarados and throw away all the energy he's built up to this point. And now Sabrina guarantees us the W. And before he Misties, but even with Misty, we win with the Sabrina. GG's to our opponent. That one, for a second, I'll be honest, I thought we were in trouble. And then it just worked out. GG's. Alright, going second. Against, what, a potential mirror match? We'll lead like this. You got them. Never mind, this is not the mirror match at all, but we might be able to create some havoc with this Hitmonlee right now. Alright. I was about to say, we're hoping for Lucario and I guess a Mankey. Can we see it? Hitmonchan. Hitmonchan is almost the same thing, but it's not. Had we seen Mankey, we would have really been tearing up like everything he had built, but now he has to be cautious with where he puts his energy in, whether the front or in the back line. I guess if he's gonna evolve into Gabite, you would put it in the front. Okay, never mind, he has it everywhere. Alright, we have Geo, so we're definitely doing Lucario here. We could poke the Gabite one more time. Or go Hitmonchan, hit 50 at face. And I think let's build up Marshadow as the threat here. And threaten the Gabite in the back. It's not looking too good for us, but it's not the worst either. The fact that all of our Pokemon are one prizes is just kind of gonna keep us in there. The only issue is that they all do die to a 1 Garchomp swing, so. Spiritomb. I guess it's a colorless way of like dealing damage, but he's got 2 cards in hand. He could filter if he wants with Garchomp. Let's see what he discards. Getting rid of Lumberry. Okay. I guess if there's a deck that could use Lumberry and stuff like that, it's definitely this one. I have to work. Marshadow hits for 120 here. I guess we go for it. Another Lucario without a target though. Yep, we're gonna go 120 here, and then Hitmonchan hopefully knocks it out, and then we'll see where it goes from there. This guy does not know what being mana locked is though. He saw a perfect combination of fighting water. So if he sees Garchomp, which he has a high chance of doing so due to like just filtering and stuff like that. On Mew EX, that's... He can't build that up in time. I guess he can, right? Because again, his stuff is also just single point, but yeah. We just needed any of his energies to like repeat real quick, and then we would have been in there, but... We know his hands are blank and basic. And we just gotta hope it's not a Garchomp. There's the Mankey we needed from like turn 1, but it's okay. Yeah, and we don't have another Hitmonlee, so that Gabite is more than safe. Interesting that he went that way. I guess if the following energy would have been revealed to be fighting, he would have been forced to build up the Gabite. We don't need to use XP here. Alright, that looks like somebody who has the Garchomp in hand. Research, it would have to be in the last 3 cards of his deck. And it is not. GG's. Second. Against fire. I would ideally want a different starter than that, but... Chimchar, okay. This him only gonna do a whole lot of nothing in the front right now, but it is what it is. Let's research first. Okay, we got the Lucario. Maybe we got Mankey here. We do. Okay. Guess we could. There's multiple ways of doing it, but we just build up Mankey here. Alright, Mankey's gonna swing. I mean, Priming swings for 70 next turn. which is not enough to knock out Monferno. But we are a Geo away from knocking him out, so let's see what we get here. Sabrina won't help. We got Lucario. Let's research and see what we get here. Marshadow, X-Speed. X-Speed makes it where we can actually build up Marshadow, so let's do that. Yeah, I think this one's under wraps, honestly. I don't feel losing this one. Another Chimchar. There's Infernape. 100 HP and our Marshallow's swinging for 120, so we're good. Alright, what would we be digging for if we did Pokecom right now? Nothing specific, right? So we could hold it for now. And just pick our knockout. Now with 2 points, he's forced to not be able to put anything down and has to like have the perfect line again. Chimchar to Infernape. Yeah, GG's. Alright, Tails. Well, if we see Riolu, we're in a really good spot. And even if we don't see Riolu, we might still be in a good spot. It depends on what he's doing. Now, he'll be able to ramp once before we take it down. Granted, he could also just swap the Palkia out the way. We'll see what happens. Oof. Yeah, Palkia is going to be a threat all format, honestly. And if he has Vaporeon, yikes, that could get... Oh, there's the Riolu we wanted. Yeah, so this Manaphy's gonna ramp, and then if he gets Vaporeon, basically, this Manaphy's giving... Yeah. This Manaphy's giving Palkia 2 energy, is what it's doing. I was saying, that's not counting if he has Misty and just goes off. Okay, that's... That's pretty good, honestly. Giant Cape on the Manaphy. That's a little greedy. Had he used it on... It might not matter, but had he used it on Palkia, he'd be in a better spot. Ideally, we'd see Marshadow. I don't know if we're going to be able to... Because he could already swing for 80 with the Articuno next turn. And we don't have much going for us. Not that had we seen the Marshadow, still wouldn't have been enough, right? Yeah, the correct play for him here is Articuno. Ramp it all the way up. And we are in what we'd call extreme danger. So you just want to do an extra step, I guess? If there goes Primate. And then next turn, actually no, he would need Leaf in order to beat us next turn, or a Geo. And now the issue here is I'm forced to play it this way just to maximize. So now I get punished by greed, basically, is what. This is a losing battle, though. Okay, so we survived somehow. We do lose to a Sabrina, because Articuno will get 2 knockouts if he does so. But we don't got much of a choice here. I wonder what he could even be digging for. So there's 2 cards that could threaten game here. The Pokemon in his hand does not. Okay, Manaphy. X-Speed, does X-Speed help? X-Speed, he just, yeah, X-Speed's enough for Pocket to get the knockout here. And he doesn't even need to use Dimensional Storm. He could just use Flash. It's still correct to go through this process because with Articuno in the back, although we have a new win condition unlocked, which is drawing him only. How much have we seen through? We have seen 0 research, 0 Pokeballs, 0 Pokecom. We need him only. Come on. And just like that. Do we have any business winning this game? Nope. Realistically, his cape, he should have put it on anything but Manaphy. But we take it. That's the good thing about fighting, the versatility. You'll find ways to win games you're not supposed to. You have so much versatility on whether you're attacking the back line or the front, or Marshallow's dealing way too much pressure, or him only starts poking it here and there. And that's not counting that we could have played cards like Cyrus to pull out Articuno. It's very valid in this deck. I was testing out Pokecom. You could easily switch that for the Cyrus, or you could go 1-1 with Sabrina, or you could cut out Geo. There's certain numbers where it fixes, there's certain numbers that doesn't. XP could go up to 2. If you don't like Hitmonchan, you could up Hitmonlee or Marshadow to 2. Like, there's a lot of things you could do with this deck. But ultimately, hopefully I got a good gist of like the potential it has. This is just like ground zero, and you could build from it. Or also, there's different strategies. Maybe it's like, maybe I took it the wrong direction. Maybe it's better if you cut out, you use Lucario to replace Mankey and Primeape, and then you keep the Aerodactyl half of the deck, or Marowak, or insert like damage dealer here. Only time will tell. This is just like a baseline, a deck that was working for me, and I want to show it to y'all. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And if you enjoy this content or looking forward to more Pokemon like Space-Time Smackdown like card deck decks and lists, consider liking, subscribing, and above all else, stay pro.